Bo diggly dang diddly dang. Diddly dang, a diddly dang. Don't diddly dang. A don't diddly dang. Welcome to yet another live stream. Let me take my glasses off. All right. So, big news. The Eyeliner remix contest has been extended till March 11th. So, for those of you still working on your remixes, you have a bit more time. So, let's go ahead and roast. All right. I'm going to scroll up here a little bit. All right. So, Brink, I'm not sure if we looked at this one, but if we have, I'm just going to start here. So, let's hear it. Oh, we have. I've listened to this. Okay, I'm going to skip it. All right. Next up, we have Eyeliner with the Shadow Flame remix. All right. Let's hear it. Cool. That was the Shadow Flame remix of Eyeliner. Shadow Flame. Some cool ideas here. Got this kind of like discordant, dissonant vibe. I think that's coming from the fact that it doesn't seem quite clear whether the bass is supporting the guitar chords on top, whether that's in key. Sounds kind of dissonant. Maybe that's a part of the vibe here. I would also say that the gated snare reverb gets a little old after a while. I'm not sure if it needs to have that much reverb. Maybe a different snare sample could work there. Something a little less white noisy and papery sounding. But really, I think the main thing is just to really double check what the chords are in the track and make sure that your bass is aligned with that. Or if you don't want to do any of that and just embrace the dissonance, that's cool too. So, yeah, awesome. Thank you, Shadow Flame, with that. Greetings. My name is Chaz. I work at Electric Owl Works, recording studio in upstate New York. Wowzers. I caught my studio partner, quote, parentheses, and wife, checking out the mix in our control room. After hearing the reference mix in mind, she said, "Oh, you made it pump and swell." Whenever you can get a gal to say that, well, mission accomplished, my friends. Well, welcome to Tasty Acres. Time for a shower. Wowzers. I've never actually made a woman say pump and swell. So, maybe that explains my inadequacy in the bedroom. But hopefully Chaz here can show us how it is we pump and how it is we swell, along with, I guess, Spock and his son. Anyways, let's take a listen here. Eyeliner feat Creepy Uncle Bill. So I don't really get it. Just sounded like a more poorly mixed version of the same song, plus a guy saying, "I need you." Get it? I guess I don't get it. Anyways, shout out to Weaver Beats. Shout out to Smooth. Shout out to Shadow Flame, Brink. Yeah, so here's the thing. I'm noticing that the remixes for this track, not as good. Only because the track itself is just not as remixable. So I'm thinking that instead of doing all 10 of the tracks from the YouTube audio library thingamajig that I did, probably just going to only pick the remixable ones from now on. And in fact, I might just let you guys vote on which track you would like to remix next, because I think if I just did only track breakdown videos every 2 weeks for the next 10 songs, that's not going to be so great. It's just could get probably annoying after a while. You probably guys want to see some, like, I don't know, some sound design tutorials or some shit. So I think breaking up the content and only picking tracks that I think warrant or could use remixes or more easily remixable from now on would probably be best. And shout out to my girlfriend for thinking of that idea, because originally I was just going to do all 10. But yeah, I just want to switch things up a little bit. have a greater variety of content and still pick tracks that I think most of you guys could remix, because I mean, this shit is just like indie rock. It's, you know, it's not that remarkable, not very electronic, very different genre and styling from what most of you guys are working in, as well as what I'm working in. So probably just gonna pick something. Well, I'll let you guys vote for the next track. Anyways, yeah, shout out to my girlfriend. Too good to pass up doing something with, period. Thanks, Underbelly. Wow, I love I love this cover art. Just look at this shit. Eyeliner misspelled with my face, okay, and then says 5 new tips. Learn how Uncle Joe keeps his basement spotless. Exclusive interviews featuring Underbelly, Tyler, Aaron Superstar, Dan Black. Dan? This is Dan Black. I would love an interview with you, Dan Black. Sign me up. Anyways, let's hear the track. Can't wait for this. That cover art's amazing. Damn, that was fucking awesome. Yo, that was probably the best one I've heard so far. I really love how you turned the original into this kind of trippy 90s trip hop meets lo-fi vibe. I love the new elements that you've added here, the super kind of wavy retro synth, the like really like classically 90s drums. And I like the idea of having the electric bass in the original track for longer. Unfortunately, I don't think the electric bass sound is that great here. I think just the original sound isn't amazing. But I like the idea of having it be an electric bass. I think you could play with that some more. But I just love how you've kind of taken the original track, you slowed it down, you chilled it out, you popped a couple Xannies, went back to the 90s and looked through some, I don't know, Tricky and Massive Attack records and made something really special out of this. So Dan Black, I mean, You know, originally when I first saw this magazine cover with eyeliner misspelled, you know, I didn't have high hopes, but you delivered here. So thank you so much, Dan. That was amazing. Awesome. All right. Hope this makes Mr. Lavini proud. Oh, I see what you did there. You mean Adam. Oh my gosh. You know, Adam Levine and I go way back. You know, I really told him to keep his shirt on before the Super Bowl. He just wouldn't listen. He wanted everybody to see his tattoos or something. Anyways, Special K on Acid Unwanted Advances remix. Can't wait. Wowzers. Indeed, sounds like Special K, sounds like Acid, super dope post-rock vibe. You know, I like the new additions you've made here. I like how you've gone for a more rock acoustic sounding drum kit. It feels both too far away because of the reverb and too in your face because of the distortion. So I would maybe turn down both the reverb and the amount of distortion here. I love the guitar, the kind of tremolo post-rock guitar you've done here. Drop it for now. Okay. That's all good so far. However, yeah, that melody, oof, it's a little too in my face, a little too abrasive and distorted. It also is very, very wide, so it's very different on the left and right channels. Could cause some phasing issues, but honestly, I think it's just the volume and the presence is a bit too much here, as well as the distortion. And you have a lot of energy here, a lot of energy with the fast hi-hats. Okay. That's confusing because we get like this insane tom fill. It looks like, you know, Dragon Force is about to be up in here, And then you go back to this really slow 80 BPM groove. And it's like, well, what was that tom fill for? You know, you kind of let me down more than Adam Levine did on the basketball court. It just feels like everything's a little too slow here. It's like, okay. See, I'm feeling the special K a lot here. I need a little bit more acid. And I like the phaser on the hi-hats, the flanger. That's a good touch. And this outro is really dope too. Once again, the post-rock vibe here on the ins and outs. Excellent work there. I would just see if you could turn down the amount of reverb on the drums, maybe also the amount of distortion. Definitely the amount of distortion on the lead, and turn that down, tuck it back in the mix a little bit more. And see what you can do about making the part after the fill really high energy. Maybe keep the hi-hats going there, or some sort of shakers or something like that. Or just go full Dragon Force on us. You know, one thing I haven't seen a whole lot here that you guys are totally willing and open to do is a mashup. So I don't know, mash this up with, I don't know, some like Travis Scott acapella. I don't know what the kids are into these days, but it's totally something that you can do. Especially if you're lazy and you don't know how to produce and want to entertain me, that could be something that you could do. So feel free to do the mashups. That's another option there. Mash up some Dragon Force in here. But Special K, thank you so much for your submission. I hope all goes well with your next acid trip, and just tone it on the distortion and the reverb, and we should be good. Cool. Let's keep going. I'll just do a thin eyeliner, and now I'm a panda. Okay.
This eyeliner. I don't know.
Okay, mm, give me something, Samaras. Just give me something. Oh, not the hi-hat again. Come on, Samaras, you can do it. Oh, there's the sample. Oh, the clap. Oh my gosh. Okay. 4:30 a.m. in Berlin.
This eyeliner.
Okay, build up, build up. Oh. Oh man, I want to eat some currywurst to this. Stand outside of Berghain and not get in because I'm not wearing all black. All right. Well, we got a minute left. All right. Is anything new happening here? I'm sorry. I'm going to skip ahead. Okay. There's nothing. All right. So what you have here, really solid. You know, I love how you took some piece of the original, in this case, the pad at the beginning, and push it up and down. And it actually really made sense in the context of this minimal house techno chill vibe. But the thing is, I know these tracks and this genre are supposed to be ridiculously long and not really do much, but you got to give us something a little extra. You know, I wish you had maybe interacted with the original source material a little bit more in addition to the pad. And I think that would have, first off, made it feel more like a remix. And second off, extend the life of your track so that there's a little bit more musical content going on. Because once again, the template, that the foundation that you have here, chill, minimal techno house, I fuck with that. I just want you to develop this and really push it into a place where, first off, it's more of a remix, more interaction with the source, and also more interesting and willing to hold the audience's attention for, you know, such a long period of time. But then again, Samaras, maybe I just didn't have enough currywurst before this, and you know, maybe a couple pints of lager down the line, and this would be amazing. I'd be bumping this until like 6 a.m. at Berghain. But we'll see. Anyways, thank you, Samaras. Keep those things in mind. But excellent work, and thank you for submitting. All right. Whip in case a meteor strikes or something. Otherwise, gonna work on the final version. I'm not sure if we've already heard this, but let's take a listen. Oh my god. Oh my god. Holy shit, that's cheesier than an episode of Naruto Shippuden. Gosh, Nitro Aniline, that was crazy. Felt like I was doing some Dragon Force, walking through the streets of Shibuya with a hentai novel in my left hand and a, you know, I don't know, like a Japanese anime figure in my right. I mean, this is like some next level Dragon Force shit. You know, I can't tell if it's good. But honestly, I think it's beside the point. I mean, this is just like, if we can just dissect this, I mean, I love how you start with the clock. Everybody seems to be loving that. Seems like it's going to be normal so far. No anime boobs in sight. And then you open with this beautiful bass. Sounds really awesome. Love what you did with the hi-hats here. Okay, and that's the point where it's like, oh shit, we're about to go fight ninja style with our hands behind our backs. You got the wub wub, you got the super distorted cheesy Dragon Force guitar. I mean, the combination of those two at the same time, I mean, it's just unparalleled. Oh my gosh. It's like hugging one of those, like, you know, person-sized anime pillows. Oh, and the crazy synths, holy shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, you still got the wub wubs going? Oh my gosh. Oh man. And I really love how you managed to stick in the main melody here. Like right here. Where is it? There. Yeah, okay. It's like, oh my god. Holy shit. Okay. You know, never in a million years would I think anyone would turn this Adam Levine mediocre indie rock track into something as groundbreaking as what you have here. You know, I still don't know if it's good or not. Once again, I think it's beside the point. I think you should just mix this down. I think in terms of the mix, the kick and the snare really need to punch through. You need to really get that drum and bass vibe going. Maybe turn up the bass as well. Because, I mean, we need this to be really punchy if we're going to get some screaming, angsty anime vocals over the top of this, which I think is the next thing that this track needs. I mean, if any of you guys watching you know, have some sort of pent up teenage angst you want to scream out, I think this would be a great conduit for that. And Nitroaniline has your back. とっても大好きです。Nitroaniline 大好きです。So thank you so much. ありがとうございました。Let's go ahead and keep listening. Thank you, Nitroaniline. Here we have Paper Bag Dude's probably last version of his remix. Let's take a listen. You know, people keep asking me these days, hey, Underbelly, how do I make my mix wider? I just want it to be wide. You know what was wide? The Beatles. And so is Paper Bag Dude. I mean, that was crazy wide. It felt like we were, traveling across two different dimensions here, one on each side of the speaker. And, I wasn't listening in headphones, but even still, it was just like, holy shit, that's some wide ass music. Now, here's the thing. Generally speaking, we try not to pan that wide because, say, you're listening in a club, these elements are just going to be lost because most club systems are in mono. And really, the stereo effect only works if A, you're wearing headphones, or B, you're standing directly in between two speakers. Everywhere else, it's just gone. So what I would do is I would take these elements and maybe a little bit of panning is warranted, but hard left, hard right, I mean, that's back in like the Ringo Starr days. That was Ringo Starr's idea doing that. And, if you want your stuff to be wide, try putting in the middle, adding a little hyper dimension on there, and you get the best of both worlds. You get a strong mono signal as well as stereo information. So that's one thing, the width. Then again, I like traveling in multiple dimensions, so thank you, Paper Dag Bood, for doing that. I think the track is a little long. I think you could easily shave a minute off of it. And the drums feel a little lackluster. I think it's because the snare is just not cutting through the mix at all. That is, if you have one. So I think a stronger snare or clap could really work here, and maybe shortening the length as well. But the vibe you have is really nice. Once again, it's very positive. If the last track was going out in Japan and fighting ninjas with Naruto and Sasuke and the gang, this is more of, let's, go to the mall or sit in the dentist's office. This is probably something that I would have listened to in a waiting room. Actually, I went to the doctor this morning to get my hearing checked. And I would have loved to hear this during that. I mean, that would have been amazing, especially if I wanted to test the stereo information on both left and right ears. But thank you, Paper Bag Dude. Very good. Thank you for posting. Part-time roaster, first-time poster here. This competition convinced me to engage a little more with this community. That's what I love to hear. That was the whole point of the competition, is to have that community engagement. So I'm really glad that happened with you, Bon Fidu. By the way, quick poll. How many of you guys have Serum and use Serum effects? So just let me know in the chat while we listen to Bon Fidu and his remix. Bon Fidou, so sad. Oh, excellent, melancholy harmonies here. In terms of the musicality of this piece, the harmonies selected, the chords, and just how you recontextualize the melody with those chords, so strong. I mean, really, really awesome vibe here. One thing that I think is lacking here a bit, though, are the drums. They feel a bit weak and maybe a little bit repetitive. I think it's just a matter of turning them up in the mix and maybe using some stronger drum sounds, or at least a greater variety of them. But I love how the kind of this, it's got a slump to it in terms of the vibe, and I love that. And congratulations on your first fully finished song. I'm sure it must feel good, and I really appreciate you sharing that. By the way, reason that I'm asking about the whole serum thing, do any of you guys use or have the Serum Effects as a standalone plugin? And if so, do you use that ever with any other synth? Because what I'm thinking is doing a USocket sound design tutorial where I use both the combination of operator and Serum, using the operator as my sound source and to generate the waveform, and then Serum for the effects, and seeing how you can use Serum with other sources of audio other than the built-in oscillators. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I hope that is relevant to you guys. Oh shit, so we have the updated remix of Nitroaniline. I'm actually gonna skip that for now because we already heard that. But I think this one is new, so let's just take a listen.
lighter. A cigarette. Was it an accident? I guess not.
All right, Pass. Excellent work. Here's my main critique. Same excellent style that you did with the last remix. My only problem with it is that the bass is just holding down the F, whereas the chords on top in the original, especially the guitar track, are changing. The chords are A flat, F, and D flat. And if you could make your bass match the chords there, I think that would be a lot stronger, because it feels like it's just not listening to the harmonic content on top. But everything else in the track sounds amazing. Your drum sounds sound amazing. The mix is so clean. Just see if you can try making your bass a little bit more active and matching the harmonies in the track already provided. But thank you so much for all of you for submitting. I have to go. I'm going to try to get that Serum video out next week, so get stoked for that, hopefully next Tuesday. But I love you all. I appreciate you all. And I hope to hear more excellent music from each and every one of you. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next week. Peace out.